Welcome back, boys and girls, to the second episode of
Wrestling Roulette with this guy.
presented by your friends at Wrestling Whiskey. See, I keep forgetting the cameras. I was just hoping you I was hoping you were just going to pick up on it at some point.
I was thinking of a drum roll, then I was contemplating it, and then my
Please don't.
mind.
No drum rolls. No drum rolls. No, don't give me that today. But I want this one also shout out to Facebook for not letting us make polls anymore. That's no matter where the hell thank you for that. That's very sweet of you. But if you guys are listening, please find it on Twitter at Wrestling Ski, because I can do polls on Twitter.
Well, at least we have something.
So follow us along there. And again, before he gets all goddamn excited over there,
I'm all giggly right now.
Got
me some Terramana with some peach tea here.
I have some high quality H2O.
Got my nice candle here. It says morning. You can't really see it, but it smells like pancakes.
Looks even trippier when you're pulling it up on your.
Yeah, I know.
background.
It's like you can't.
Where's my hat?
I go back here and look, my arm's missing now.
If your arm's missing in the back of your chair, is there. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But before you start flapping your jibs and blowing my mind, do have to throw the shout out to Ashley, Lana, and the show Lullaby the Fear podcast on Good Pods. Good stuff.
Make sure you check I know it's a Pat's Cup, but here.
And then shout out to Austin Boyer and his show Wrestling World. Actually, he's on podcast. Good Pods as well. He's got a Twitter page. Good stuff. Entertaining. They're very they're really, really good. I finally got time to sit down and listen to them yesterday. I said I would. 6 hours later, I finally stopped. So good stuff. Make sure you check them out. There's a plug for people, and I'm not getting anything for it. They're just actually that good.
Yeah.
And I'm a decent human being.
When you want to be.
Every once in a while. Every once in a blue moon. Even though Hannah tells me I'm the most miserable human being she's ever met, but I have the kindest heart of anyone she's ever met. Like, how does that work out? I don't know. See, I'm nice unless you're stupid. It's not my fault. I don't like stupid, and I don't like stupid ideas or bad ideas from stupid creative or stupid ideas from even worse creative. Worse creative. Like way out there creative. Like some of the stuff that people have come up with. Mm-hmm.
Well, what I want to do is I want to first start off with the real life situation. I know this is branching off of the roulette part.
Oh yeah. Jeff, get shit together.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, before you kill yourself or somebody. Like it blew my. I didn't want to watch it, but I did watch the dash cam, and I was just like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
And what to me, again. It all comes back to, and it's like beating a dead horse, but I can't beat enough mental health awareness. The stuff that he's put his body through, I believe, is affecting him mentally. Like maybe CTE. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but you got to get. I mean, he literally told the cop, "Hey, I'm going to get my head scanned." So, and if that's true or not, at least I think he's aware that it needs to happen. I'm hoping. I'm just, because again, when you're in that kind of state, you tend to, be a little bit more truthful. So I would say 10-1, he probably was. He just wasn't in the right state of mind to go do that anyways. Maybe. Yeah. I'm just, but again, God take care. I did see the thing from Matt Hardy.
Finally.
He backs his brother. Wasn't too happy about the whole mocking from Reba thing, but Reba's Reba. We know how she is. No, whatever. But just to Matt to still be there for his brother no matter what. We know Jeff has done a lot of dumb things, or it's not dumb. Okay, it's not dumb. He's made bad life decisions. Let me get it politically correct. And been there, done that with a friend of mine. I'm not going to touch on that, but and not to get sacrilegious, but pray and send the love, send the good vibes to the man. Hopefully he absolutely finally gets his life squared away. It's a struggle. You're never going to be perfect in life, but I think enough is enough. We've said it how many times. Just take time away from everything. I mean, the guy does what? Wrestling, tattoo artistry, music, art. I mean, channel that in life and not have to depend on those crutches. And I'm done. I'm done saying it.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna go that deep into it. I'm just gonna say
Get better.
that at the end of his run with the Machine, they were beating him to death in all those tag matches. I mean, he was in the ring for the most part, getting taken just all 90% of the madness. And they had that whole, barroom thing, bar thing with Sheamus, which I didn't like. People said
did not like that.
And I mean, for the love of God, he's in AEW for 5 seconds. He went off the ladder out in the thing.
And went off the handle.
On the one Dynamite, he went off. I mean, that bump from Darby onto the stairs, that didn't feel good. And there's no reason to be doing that. I mean, he took more big bumps there in that short amount of time there than he did forever in the Machine. And that pain was already there. And
but the question is, was he already doing stuff as he got to AEW? You know what I mean?
I'm going to believe Matt, who was right there with him. I mean,
yeah.
That's all I
mean, there's that what if, but some people are good at hiding it.
Yeah, but I think Sting would have killed him by now, literally after.
Yeah, true.
I think Sting would have kicked the living bejesus out of him, because Sting can still beat the living bejesus out of him if he really wanted to. But all those bumps are unnecessary. So for the love of God, they're good every once in a while. But you're 1,000. I mean, there's a few times I watched some Lance Swantons where he was just completely curved around the person.
I think one of the safest ones was off the Titantron on the last set of Raw before they changed the set of Raw on Randy Orton in that padded table area. So, and that was pretty high up. Like, he took that like really safely, like seriously.
Takes it way better than Alba Fire takes any of hers. And she really, every time I see her, guess what? The Kaylee Ray bomb, she might not be. Just let her give the person the fire bomb, as they call it now, and stop having her do that senton, because she rotates at the last possible seconds, and it freaks me out every time.
I have to say the safest one right now is Kevin Owens. The last couple ones I saw, I mean, he's got that down pat and he's landing it correctly. But anyways,
he doesn't overdo it. That's why he's
he's not
really like Montez Ford, like shooting like.
Still the best freaking frog slash besides Eddie Guerrero. Hands down. Sorry, not sorry.
I don't know. RVD's was 5 stars.
Well, I mean,
and he's still doing it.
Like, he didn't do it as high, but when he did the whole exaggerating it, it looked high, but it really wasn't as high as what Montez Ford does.
Montez Ford is obnoxious. Montez Ford does 180s as he's doing this.
Yeah.
Splat. You're just sitting there going, why? Or that one when they were in the Thunderdome era and he went over the top rope and no one moved to make sure they just watched him fall.
Yeah.
That senton was beautiful, even though you're going. But anyway, stop beating the bejesus out of yourself. You're 500 years old.
Please get better.
Well, that was your perfect time. When I go to drink something, that means you shouldn't go and drink something, because then there's awkward silence.
Yeah, that happens.
Gives you time to talk.
So, going to throw a couple words out there. Hard worker. Family man. Friend. Enemy. Creative genius. Manipulative. Visionary. Confidant. Does anything come to mind? Because if not, there's one man, hands down, that fits all those categories. And I swear, like, doing the research on this makes me ecstatic, like excited, like fire reignited. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man we're talking about tonight.
And the couch. The man and the couch. Now, do I call the episode like the Polaris? Is that too offensive? Heyman Hustle? We can name it his Twitter handle.
Yeah. Well, we maybe.
Heyman. Heyman.
We'll figure it out near the end. I got the perfect ending for the episode here as far as food for thought. It just, when I was going through Peacock, I was going through the network, and I'm like, I just want to watch a damn good documentary. I felt like, I want to learn a piece of history as as we always dig for stuff through articles and stuff like that. But I really wanted to go in depth and just scrolling through, because pretty much I've watched like 85-90% of the documentaries, and this one came across.
And his name is Paul
And
Heyman.
I will tell you what, I have sort of kind of in chronological order, but not like true to the whole documentary, just things I took from it that I really thought really defies this gentleman in and out. So like, what did you do at 11 years old? What's the first memory? What's the first thing you can remember that you did at 11 years old?
Little League.
Little League. Okay. This guy at 11 years old, 11, was selling movie posters by mail.
Hey.
By mail, making money at 11 years old.
Hey, he's an evil genius.
Well,
you know what Brock always says? Someone has to feed.
Yeah.
Oh, and
yeah, we'll stop. Everyone knows the rest of that saying. So
gotta feed the. Yeah, you do.
And the reason why he is his mother, if you didn't know this, was a survivor of the Holocaust. So for those of you who are playing the game that don't know, interesting fact. Father was an attorney, so that fit the definition of feeding.
Yeah.
Hey. But
what did you just say? Gotta feed the Jew. I mean, okay.
Yeah, okay. It's out there.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Brock. But,
what do you recall doing at 14 years old? Anything like just like a milestone, like, or something that you were really involved in.
That I could say out loud.
Well, okay, that was legal.
Hey, you never get caught. It's legal.
True.
14.
That would have been what, like 8th grade, 9th grade, going in, depending. I mean, I started I had to start a year after, so I was the oldest in my class. So
I was the baby in my class.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, that was no fun at all. But
yeah,
14. I'll say I played a lot of basketball on the back road and wall ball, amongst other things.
There you go.
Violence.
Things that are,
violent things, certain games where you tackle people when they have a ball and you say mean, vile things. Just, mean things that you do. Went fishing a lot.
There you go. I did a lot of boating in the greater Blue Marsher area. Love it.
I shoveled way too much snow. I did that.
Okay. 14 years old, took his bar mitzvah money, built his own photo studio, and traveled to live events between where he was at, and said what, for wrestling newsletters, like, this guy here would be at an event and would fight to get the best picture. We're talking like elbowing people just to get that picture. 14 years old.
Hey.
And had established a business and a newsletter. Again, back then there wasn't podcasts. There wasn't
a lot.
There was nothing. I mean,
Meltzer was around then, right?
Years old.
Meltzer was around then, I think.
Yeah.
Meltzer's been around for. That was it.
God knows how long.
It was Dave Meltzer, and you could look at all the. I mean, he had to be on steroids too. Again, you watch the steroid trial, Dark Side of the Ring. What you see, Dave Meltzer with his mullet on that stage and whatever show that. Just brick. I mean, that guy. But anyway, yeah.
So then we get into
Phil Donahue.
we get into the high school years, 17, 18, usual, high schooler stuff, sports, girls, the usual. This guy was traveling to Jim Crockett Promotions, and somehow weaseled his way into a production meeting. Now that's like, puts the hat on, keeps a low profile. And who do you think, now mind you, it's Jim Crockett. Who do you think out of the corner of his eye sees Mr. Heyman in the corner that shouldn't be in the corner of a meeting that he shouldn't be in? Wild guess.
Back then?
Think about it. Jim Crockett, NWA. Think about it.
Well, I mean, that time frame, they had what? The Flares, and that's when they were all down there doing that thing. Dusty was probably down there.
There you go.
I figured it was Dusty, but Ric Flair was,
Dusty Rhodes catches him out of the corner of the eye, takes him out of the production meeting. Heyman at this point is probably his pants, going, okay, well, it was a great ride. No worries. I did what I did.
That was fun.
It was probably worth it. To me, it would have been worth it. Dusty asked him, hey, what do you do in the production meeting? And Paul Heyman again goes, I'm taking notes from the best. And of course, Dusty and goes, well, get back in there and learn some more. Like that. I mean, that's cool. Like, seriously, 17 years old. And you're talking to Dusty Rhodes thinking that, okay, that's it. My career as anything in wrestling is over. And I mean, again, God bless him. It's been how many years? 2015 he passed away. And that, again, that sets the tone from where we take off from here. As far as Paul's adventures. But again, I couldn't have been any more fitting. Dusty Rhodes.
He's a good dude.
That's right.
Sadly missed.
And
now his son's journey has come full circle. So good on him for that too.
So we're gonna kind of go from 19 years old to like 21 here. Hooks up with with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin to manage him. Of course, a lot of management stuff. Eventually rolls into the Pro Wrestling USA Jersey event for charity. Hooks up with Studio 54. Becomes a photographer. Quick, cool fact. So the photographer at that event was being belligerent, gets kicked out. Bye, see ya. Again, Paul Heyman being that.
Paul
Here
Heyman.
he is. They're like, we don't have a photographer. Heyman goes, I've been doing it all my life. Weasels his way in. Studio 54, as always, I mean, if you've been doing something all your life, it doesn't matter how long, how short. But I thought that was a pretty cool fact. Eventually gets to the point in 85, he starts producing and promoting Studio 54, throws an event up with Flair, Dusty, and Magnum, worked with the debut of Bam Bam Bigelow. I did not know that. I did not catch that in Young Rock when they had the part where, Lawler was working with Bigelow and stuff like that. So that's a cool fact. Didn't know that. We roll into 86, Studio 54 goes out of business. At this point, he's producing 3 magazines, which I had no clue. That's cool. Don't know what the titles of the magazine. I said, I'm just kind of chunks and bits and pieces here. Because if not, this thing would probably be 4 hours long. But
nobody got time for that. You don't got time for that.
Again, at this point, Paul E. Dangerously is born because of what's the movie with Michael Keaton?
It'll come.
I didn't write that down, but
it'll come.
Had something to do with being dangerous. So then went to work with Kevin Sullivan, NWA Florida. Again, Crockett Promotions, we're coming back full circle, buys out NWA Florida. Has some ups and downs. At that time, he managed Motor City Mayhem. If you don't know who they are, look them up. Great tag team. Goes to Memphis to work with Jerry Lawler. Aligns himself with Austin Idol, Wildfire, Tommy Rich. This is where we roll into the hair match with Jerry Lawler. Yes, at one point Jerry Lawler did get his head shaved. They weren't really feeling him. Got a bad impression. He comes off a little. He's passionate, but then it's overkill.
He's Paul Heyman.
At some point. Again, he's still young. He's in his young 20s. So again, he's still green in a sense as far as when to draw the line. And that's with that's with anybody, whether it's commentary, wrestler,
It helps. Decades have passed and he still has a hard time figuring out when to just shut up.
So at this point, then we're still working with AWA back and forth here. Did you know, fun fact, so AWA used to rehash the same matches, but insert different interviews. So Heyman would spend all day doing like 8 to 16, maybe 20 different interview segments, but it's the same thing every day. ESPN Daily, that's where they used to, before ESPN was, readily available on cable, where
what they are now.
So that's an interesting fact. A lot of the stuff you're going to find here that I'm talking about, like it's stuff like you wouldn't even think of. So then eventually becomes head creative. NWA Crockett works with them for a little bit, manages Eddie Gilbert, rolls into managing 1989. We've got Midnight Express. If those of you who do not know how to play the game, so we have Paul Heyman's Midnight Express, original Midnight Express, and then we bring in our favorite tennis racket carrying guy, Mr. Cornette. Watch the matches, watch the interaction. I actually liked it. Like when I say I did my homework on this, I did my homework on this. From what I got from the Paul Heyman, stuff on the network, like I was diving into matches. Like it's amazing.
Lots of good stuff.
A lot of, and for the time period that we were just twinkling our daddy's eye or maybe shitting our diapers at that point, like it was good stuff.
89.
Then during that time he worked with the Samoan SWAT team, and then we roll into WCW, our first commentary stint with Mr. Jim Ross. Not afraid to call things like it is. Still rubbing people the wrong way, literally going like this to JR. Are you angry yet? Are you angry yet? Are you angry yet? Like literally. And this is his first stint with Jim Ross. More stuff down the line when we get to, the WWF /E side of things.
Before they got the F out.
Yeah. So 27 years old, we're working in WCW. Basically, we rubbed people the wrong way. We said things we probably shouldn't have said. And he's paid to actually do nothing. Aligns himself in that portion there. Quick side note, there's actually a hush clause, by the way, on the WCW front. Don't know exactly what it is. Got a settlement. Again, later down down my timeline here, where he invested his money. But at that point, aligns himself and manages the New Horsemen. We're talking Rick Rude it just started out green as hell. Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Zbyszko, they've been around for a while. So it's kind of like, and then rolls into Mr. Austin, stunning Steve Austin.
Stunning with hair.
Long blonde hair.
Good head of hair.
Again, between all that's going on, finally fired by WCW again. Hush clause, gets his money, figures it out, goes to dad for advice. Of course, why not?
Hey, if it wasn't for that, dad, ECW would have died years earlier.
And then we kind of take a break from things. Actually start up some radio stuff, went head to head with Howard Stern, had no clue. Of course, Howard Stern, you had to, have a special subscription and all that stuff. So, or wasn't he on HBO at the time? was HBO or something TV wise that way he was on the radio, but they were, filming it in the was that HBO that he used to be on? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Don't quote me on it.
I never watched it.
But
so sure as hell didn't have HBO back then. So
we get to Eastern.
That was before Stern sold out.
Eastern Championship Wrestling, mind you, 28 years old, not even 30 yet. Todd Gordon was the original owner. So Paul had this. Paul had this thing where new vision versus bitching. If you're going to bitch, it's going to get you nowhere. If you actually have a vision, go and chase it. But you can't have a new vision while you're bitching, because you're going to get nowhere. Just a random quote that stuck out to me. So here we are, early 90s, 28 years old. ECW is born. So between then and 1996, fun fact, he's actually working with Vince McMahon, not working for, hear me out, working with. Paul Heyman never received a WWF, at the time, WWF, not the Panda Bear hitting the other panda with a chair, which I need to get that shirt, by the way. But great. Working in developing superstars, surprisingly, there are rumors of paychecks. Said paycheck brings me into, oh boy, am I lost on my notes here? No, did I miss a page? No, I didn't miss a page. What am I doing here? All right, so the rumor of paycheck here, Paul Heyman didn't receive a paycheck. Tommy B Records worked a deal for $1,000 a month, I believe. Yeah, $1,000 a month. So Too Cool Scorpio, ECW, aka Flash Funk. So Tommy B Records was actually producing some of the stuff for ECW, worked with Too Cool Scorpio's theme, and they were actually getting royalties. So Vince and Paul worked something out where that $1,000 a week royalties that they were getting would be paid not to Paul Heyman, but ECW, to their bank account, which was used for paychecks, road expenses, venue expenses, rent, the whole nine. So part of that developmental deal, so Brackus, Al Snow, Draws would work with ECW, Terry Gordon, Furnace and LaFon, and Too Cool Scorpio, aka Flash Funk, WWF at the time. I heard more about Flash Funk than the other stuff. I mean, everyone knows who Draws, Al Snow is. Brackus, I'm not too familiar with. Pretty much after this point, we're back and forth. Actually, Paul, if I gather correctly, was to and from at the time, working with WWF, but staying in his territory with ECW. Takes Tommy Dreamer and brings him into production. Cool fact, near the end of the ECW, before it was, Tommy was doing a lot of the production stuff, working with Taz, Guido, Bubba, and Devon. Those were like the five main guys there. And, I didn't know that. That's like an interesting fact, like, watching Bubba's podcast and the stuff that he's done. It's like, wow, like I would have never known that. And some of the stuff that Devon's produced in WWE, like, I didn't know they were in those roles.
I think they briefly got into that during the rise and fall of ECW, which I think, at least, I don't know, it was on the old network. I haven't looked to see if it's on Peacock, because
it's some of the stuff has been slowly coming on. Surprising quick fun fact: Paul Heyman guy, Mr. Punk, best of CM Punk's on there. Surprisingly, like that blows my mind. Like, you think, they would have got rid of that.
With how that ended.
So ECW, great run, making money, living day to day at this point. And they've always lived day by day. Paul Heyman's big belief, he's going to bullshit you. He's going to lie to you. He's going to manipulate you. But if you can do that to survive the next 24 hours, that 24 hours turns into the next week, the next month, the next year, depending on what you're making in revenue. ECW gets to the point of too big to be small, too small to be big. We have issues with, pay-per-view vendors. It does cost to put on a pay-per-view, and when you're not having that constant flow of money, it's hard. So could they have been bigger? Yes, with the right backing, but the backing wasn't there, unfortunately. I mean, when Paul says they were living day to day, they were living day to day, like at the point to where he owed Tommy Dreamer like tens, like the running tally at that point was like between 40 and 60,000 that he was owing some of these guys, but he would talk his way into still getting them to perform and put on a hell of a show. Like their last 6 months officially, their 6 official months of revenue between pay-per-view buyouts and merchandise, they made more those last 6 months in almost a whole tenure because the fans knew the product was eventually leaving, which makes into a cool fact. So Paul Heyman actually jumped ship to WWF at the time, WWE now, 90 days before things were said and done with the ECW. Reason why, now hear me out, we know Paul can be a lot of things, but he was in the process of going into bankruptcy. So any check written out to any of those superstars before those 90 days were up, the government would have said, we're taking that money back. Justin Roberts, was it Justin Roberts? No, it wasn't Justin Roberts. Pardon my misinformation there. The commentator for ECW. Joey Styles. So Joey Styles was big on this on my research here and watching the documentary, but a lot of praise because if Paul Heyman wouldn't have done that, a lot of wrestlers would have lost their money. Like it's smart thinking. Again, we know who he is. We know his lineage. Hey, but that's a big testament to Paul caring. Paul always cared about his talent, always cared about who he was working with, working for. Between that, rolling into a few other things here, we have One Night Stand. We need to do that episode with One Night Stand.
That is, by the way, the one episode that for some reason
it's still haunting us because we haven't done it yet.
And I did it one time, and one day it was just gone, and it wouldn't let me upload. It wouldn't let me, like, suddenly when it would upload, the sound was all like it.
Well, here we are.
So guess what, everyone? It's in my notebook. I got the whole damn thing broken down over like 9 pages. It's all there.
Well, then you know what? Maybe I'll let you.
I'm not redoing that one again.
Maybe I'll let you be a guest on Wrestling Roulette with Justin, even though it's sponsored by Wrestling with Ski, and then you can tell me the facts, and then I can wing it.
Hey, I can still see most of One Night Stand in my head. Because that first one.
You know what though? You know who we can't see until June 27th.
Hey.
You're welcome. There you go, John. There's your plug.
And if we're gonna, just before we move back on, if we're talking about one night stands, no one in that building wanted to see him.
No.
And that sign of Cena wins, we riot. I'm pretty sure if he won,
oh yeah, that whole place would have been trashed.
There would be no, like, he would have to grab title and run.
There would be no seeing him. He'd be gone.
People would. They would have been over the railing like 4 security guards.
I wish I could have been at one of the first ECW events just to take in the pure chaos that was Philadelphia.
Philly's nuts. Always has been. Always will be. Couldn't see it. Couldn't range it. There it was. But yes, carry on.
So what? I know we're kind of going all over the place. This is Roulette, and I should have mentioned this. But so we roll into the Alliance angle. great moments. Still Booker T getting his ass kicked by Stone Cold in the grocery store. I can watch it over and over every day and not get bored of it.
Me too.
Fun fact, Shane McMahon almost bought ECW in 2000, like with his own money, because he was really all about that. And then we had the relaunch, we had the disappointment, pissed off people, whatever. So we get to 2006.
Yeah, I got to see it live one time.
We
SmackDown taping followed by that live.
Yeah. So we get to 2006. Paul's like, you know what? No more. We're going to take a break. So then we get, which I do recommend reading, not to plug Mr. Lesnar, Death Clutch. That was a good book, hands down. One of my favorite wrestler books. And then we have the Heyman Hustle. That was born. Still a great thing to listen to, watch. I don't know where he's at with it. I just follow him on Facebook and I get all the stuff. Still again, L4L, Looking for Larry. It's actually a producing company that takes the little guy and tries their best to make them relevant. And that's been for, well, let's see here. This was what, 2014. 2015. I was watching the documentary. So at that point, it's been 15 years since Paul's been involved with that. Off the grid. But they actually have a website. I don't have the URL in front of me, but again, just small dreams can come true to be bigger products. So there's your free plug, L4L, and Mr. Heyman, if you have actually ever watched this. We should tag him. Tag him on Twitter. I'm sure he'll see it.
I'll tag it every day. I'll just keep retweeting it every day.
For God's sake, Roman Reigns got tagged by those kids that did the Bloodline entrance. There's your free plug, whatever that guy's name is.
Hey, that was
Yeah. If
Heyman ever shit.
Yeah.
I could personally hand it to him and be like, nah.
There you go.
No worry, I'll quote him. I'll tag him in it every day and just keep retweeting until sooner or later I just get told to shut the fuck up.
And then print that out and frame it.
And please God, when you do, put in one of those beautiful articulate, just articulate all the ways to tell me.
At Wrestling with Ski, shut the fuck up, and that's it.
Put one of those, if I may interject, sir. But shut the fuck up, but put it in the Paul Heyman way. Just give me one of those great, just give me a good paragraph. I'll be like,
exactly.
What? We're done, guys. What?
We're done.
Quit. I retire. I'm out.
Again, just throwing it out there. This is what I've gathered based off the documentary and just doing research. So you know what? If I'm politically incorrect, which again, I've taken a lot of time for this, I hope I am, because Paul, if you ever watch this, you're a genius. I love you
Evil
to death.
Genius.
One of the best managers, hands down. Go ahead and argue. Seriously, this is just a snidbit.
One of the best talkers
of information. I'm sure there's plenty more. And if I find it, hey, maybe we'll do a 2-parter, 3-parter, 4-part. His whole career has been phenomenal. Again,
kept going.
Not to plug the Peacock Network. Go and watch this documentary. If you don't, you're wrong. That's it. And that brings me to the final quote from Mr. Heyman. This really hit me, to the small guy that's trying to make things work for him in life. Experience is the greatest inhibitor of creativity and innovation, because you learn from experience what not to do, but it's the unbridled passion and the fearlessness to just go into something with reckless abandonment that allows you to create something from nothing. This allows you to innovate, that allows you to take things to the extreme.
Boy, did they ever. Okay, Rob Black one. That was extreme. Like that was
that quote, like I would get tattooed on myself. I'm sorry, not sorry. that there means a lot to all these, wrestling with ski, other podcasts. That guy that, decides at 12 years old, I'm going to be a professional wrestler. I'm going to be a musician. Okay, we're going completely off the handle here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to reach this goal. I'm going to make this goal. I'm going to conquer this goal. No intended to Brock Lesnar breaking the streak. You're welcome, Brock. Anything in life. This applies to anything in life. And I'm all about those quotes that freaking mean something. And this is by far one of the top quotes that anyone can live by. You set a goal, you conquer it, you move on to the next thing. Don't be comfortable, don't be content. Push yourself. And that's what, from what I'm getting, that's what Paul's saying. If you have a dream, go chase it. Do it, accomplish it. Make it bigger than what you thought it was going to be. And greatness will fall into your lap.
Hey, and if we're going to talk about breaking the streak, is a little interview that he did after. Who would ever know?
I could watch it over and over again. What was that? I forget. What was that?
I have no idea, but don't worry. Just
what
look it up.
page it was? Yeah,
you'll find it.
I have it saved, so I'll probably repost it following this episode just to be like, hey, check it out.
And then he's going to put his name at the end of it.
Yeah, I got to start doing that because I post a lot of crap. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I thought you were going to pick the more. I mean, we're not going to go to Pinnamu Schmuck from the other night, even though that
Pinnamu Schmuck.
that was good, but JR when he was with him,
Oh,
we're gonna do fine, kid. What or like the relationship when they came back around, and don't forget, hey Ma, I came to Raw and I got to see Bush. You're welcome, Trish. I still remember. It doesn't matter how many head injuries you have. The stuff they were doing then, that little one-liner. Hey Ma, I came to Raw and got to see Bush. And as he said I learned what was too far away. They learned a little more about me.
Quick, since we're on roulette and we're still wrapping up with Heyman, so we watched the top Raw 100 moments and the top 50 oh my God moments. And guess who was in both?
Paul Heyman.
It's not my fault.
Hey,
Snitsky kick the baby. Kick the baby.
Hey, Gene Snitsky.
It never gets old.
I have signed photos under there.
You had one job, bro, and you went above and beyond. And like when they slowed it down, you could see that guy catch the baby, and dude, that guy was excited as like seriously.
Hey, and don't forget, if you're still gonna do the lost treasure, that whole whatever.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Even though they kind of fired Top Dollar.
So. If someone's watching this, I swear to God, if you have that baby, let us do an episode with you. Like I would talk to the guy that caught the baby that Snitsky punted just to get a reaction.
Like let's see that again. I mean, how the hell do you think that goes before he goes out there and there's Vince? What? Don't miss the baby. I got this, bro.
I think I'm thinking, and I know this is roulette, but I would like to take
my fault.
I would like to us to compile. I know this is kind of my thing, but we need to compile top 50 oh my God moments, our own. Even if some of the stuff's in there, like I think that would be a great.
Hey, we could break it up. Hey, we used to each have our own top 10 lists.
Yeah, and
punting the baby, I don't care. I'm sorry, Wood.
Yeah, that in the grocery store. Top 2. That's 1 and 2 for me.
Because did you see the look on some of those people's faces in the front row, and he yoked that baby doll up and just boomed it.
Could you imagine if that were to happen in WWE today? Yep, I'm eating chocolate, I'm eating fat. Go yourself.
That would have been, oh my God. People's heads would actually explode in the front row. If we physically see it. It'd be like the end of the movie, Ready or Not. Like it would be Oh my! But it's amazing what that gets smacked. That gets Raw, and then on SmackDown with cans of whoop ass on aisle 2. That's aisle 2. Feel bad for that guy. Hey, what? A Booker's not going to hit you too hard.
But here's $500.
Here you get to meet Stone Cold. Okay.
Oh my God! And that beard on that guy was so fake. Oh my God! It looked like somebody took super glue and threw hay on his face. I'm not gonna lie.
They could have. It was the Attitude Era. It's like, what? Don't show us his face. What? You'll be okay.
And he sold it so bad. He sold it so fucking bad.
I mean, but no, Booker could have actually just walked up, just mollywopped the bejesus out of him. He could have. You never know.
And I got to give Booker credit for that conveyor belt, for how much weight you could put on that. Somehow it still moved him, and he's just like legs overhead, just right on the floor.
However they pulled that one off, I don't know, but that's still.
Well, quick fun fact, speaking of stuff like that, so I don't know if you know, so all the bar fights that you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, we're at Tim White.
Attitude, Tim White.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Mr. White, that's not a good idea.
Throws
himself in a wood chipper out in traffic. I mean,
it's not even that, dude. One of them, there's just this gigantic fan, and you see Tim White go. There's Josh going, Mr. White, and Tim White going, and just into the fan. Like, it does humanly possible that could not happen. Like, and there's Punk with the side comments going, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. like some of the stuff.
Mr. White.
Let's do an episode on like things that like millennial, like not to go political, but millennials and liberals would make networks get fired for. Like stuff like a top 10 moments, like
the Tim White saga.
Exactly. Like you don't have guts and blood sprayed all over you from a fan. I'm sorry, it's not humanly possible.
Thank you, Justin Roberts. Not even Justin Roberts. You have Justin. The other one. Thank you. Whatever the hell he was, the little bastard from the first season. I believe it was Tough Enough. Or is the second one? God. Josh Matthews. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Josh Matthews.
There you go. Sorry. Hey, what he's called.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but Mr. White.
And not to go into the Tim White, but like he puts a chain around his neck with a cinder block and puts his head in a fish tank. Like, what is wrong with you?
Hey, whoever came up with that stuff, I don't care who you are. Well, we just had weekly segments. What? Tim White's trying to kill himself again, and we all tuned in to see it. That's the worst part. We all tuned in to see it.
It's so bad.
You know what else?
So bad.
Hey, what else would get thrown off the network? When they took Val Venus's pee-pee.
Oh, that was one of them. That was, and then you've got Val Venus giving credit to some doctor turning off the light and shrinkage on a cutting board. I'm sorry, like, what are you doing, bro?
The stuff they got away with. You know, I mean, it was a whole new world.
Did you find the remote? Like,
you know, there was a lot of good stuff back then.
I don't know what's more entertaining, that with Takamichi Noku and them talking about it, or Asuka trying to cut a promo with minimal English pronouncing.
Hey,
what do you call it? I don't know.
Hey, her just going off. I mean,
and like Becky, like understanding what she's saying, like, and we're all going, subtitles, please. Like,
hey, don't give them any ideas. Dear God, please don't turn on the closed captioning on my TV. That means I would have to.
That's a good idea. Maybe I'll figure out what she's saying.
It'll probably just say indecipherable.
Dude, I know Hulu's got the settings on it, bro. Hulu's got it. See if it works.
I'll have to remember. That'll be on a Monday.
No,
or Tuesday morning.
You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna say in parentheses Vietnamese speaking language or some
Japanese.
stupid crap. or Japanese.
Asian
sorry.
dialect.
Asian. There you go. Sorry. To be
Asian
politically correct.
dialect. Like, bruh, what? That's not even probably. I mean, I'm sure there's some Japanese in there, but
Yeah.
I just go out there. You can go out there and say the same shit over and over again. Like, no one's gonna know. And then there's that, like, there's Taka sitting there, just
Sure.
indeed. Which were good times too.
Or what used to be every pay-per-view, Funaki would just be like, Funaki, and everyone's like, yeah. like, that's it. Like,
SmackDown #1 announcer. And there's
No
the other guy
offense-
next to him, though. Just
no offense to Jimmy Wang Yang or anything like that, but I'm sorry, Funaki takes the cake.
he was the best.
Yeah.
He was SmackDown's #1 announcer.
Exactly. Anyways, so I
Good
guess
time,
we
though.
did get a little bit of roulette here.
I have scatterbrain.
on this thing,
Tim
I
White.
wanted to be mostly Paul related, but hey,
just to see just Justin Roberts, Josh Matthews. See, I'm gonna keep doing it. What Poindexter? Just to see it. Just I could see it in my head, just getting doused in everything. Whoosh. Oh my God! See, that's still better than anything they've done with the 24/7 title in like 6 months.
oh my God.
Can we give it back to truth, please?
Here's your episode title: Wrestling with Ski. No offense. There you go. It covers anything and everything that people would bricks over in today's society from the Attitude Era.
Hey,
Top 10 or top 20? What are you thinking?
I'm just gonna write it. Yeah, they call my name is and just ... That's what I'll leave today as. My name is ...
But again,
everyone will get it, and I can't get sued for putting 3 words together.
true.
I mean, if it wasn't for his dad, I mean, CW would have died years earlier. So
Yeah.
thank God for having a lawyer for a father. Like, hey, what? Well, I pissed
And
these
that's the
people
thing.
off
That's the
today.
thing.
So
That's the thing. Paul Heyman's father was an injury lawyer. Like, all he got was just basic legal advice. But to wrap things up here, Paul Heyman, thank you. Thank you so much for everything you've done from business standpoint, entertainment standpoint. I mean, seriously, not to plug the network, go watch this documentary, go look up the fun facts. Like, it's amazing how much he was involved, and also at such a young age. This guy was 17 years old, elbowing photographers at NWA and AWA promotions to get the better picture, to get the better sale for the magazine or the newsletters, and just like, wow, like,
he's still going.
Again, from 11 years old to 17-year-olds to 19-year-olds to 21-year-olds, like, what were we doing?
21.
Well, I was overseas getting my first non-alcoholic beer in Fallujah, but
when I turned 21, I'm pretty sure we almost got blown up that night. I think that was the night.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Beats me. I don't know. It might have been that night when we were and they missed the big white building somehow. Nice aim, guys, by the way. Biggest thing on the whole base. You still missed it. Jesus. Don't worry, it's all blown to bejesus now.
Maybe they hired them for stormtrooper actors.
Could have, because they haven't hit anything.
Exactly. Or we were just lucky.
One thing,
except for the truck that hit you, but it happens.
I'm still lucky. Still here.
Exactly.
Not dead yet. Literally, what? They tried to kill me.
As my A1C1 goes up, but good.
Hey, I don't have to worry about things.
Technically, I'm not diabetic anymore, but whatever.
That is true. Because that's why I'd call you Not So Fat Miller. Me and Hannah had a deep conversation about how miserable. Again, you called him Fat Miller? Like, what? I did. At least I didn't lie about it.
Exactly.
What? I made fat jokes. He made cripple jokes. Then he made cripple fat jokes when I put on all the weight. It's easy.
Dude, I look at
jokes.
Dude, between you and me, and I know this people are going to see this, but like 175, I'm still, that's the healthy weight according to my height. But yet, I'm supposed to be a little under because of my BMI. I don't know. I need to get one of them fancy scales. I do want to invest in one of them healthy scales for BMI just to see, because honestly, based off of what the doctor goes off of for weight is not my true BMI. So I'm pretty sure someone's lying.
No,
and it's not me because the scale doesn't lie.
It might be that guy behind you. He's done it a few
times. I was trying to get a better background.
Hey.
I wanted to get.
What's better? What's better? I wanted to get the. Look at him. Just Paul Heyman standing behind you, just looking down on you, and dick. That's what it was. Yeah, you had Paul Heyman staring down over your head the whole time.
Now he's sniffing my bald head.
He doesn't look like the guy that likes to sniff people. Oh, I had to. I'm sorry. Well, I've been good. But yes, I mean, there's still people that have indifferent thoughts about Paul Heyman, but we go all the way back again.
I don't care what.
WCW, like just professional career from getting in there.
Yeah.
Like with Stunning Steve to ECW to all of his runs in WWE, everything he's done with Brock. Which he showed up once a week and sold pay-per-views for weeks on end without Brock having to do anything. Like that is a talent and now he has to sell everything because Roman shows up for work once every 5 minutes and he's scheduled for one Raw all summer. So thank God for that guy standing behind you. Because that guy there, that guy is like a god. Like just think about all the years that he saved everything when Brock wasn't around. Now Roman, like think of how many months and pay-per-views he sold all on his own because we never saw anybody just using his mouth. I'm sorry, that is a gift that very few have had in the wrestling business, and for how long he has sustained it and keeps going. All I'm going to say is pin him, you schmuck. That made my Friday night.
Speaking of Paul Heyman, not to go off on a random subject, but speaking of Paul Heyman, guys, I don't know if you saw it a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if I shared it on the page. Mr. Cesaro possibly might coming back to WWE because he wanted to spend time with his family. Because I'm sorry, if he goes to AEW, he ain't gonna do shit. But I would love to see Cesaro back.
Yeah.
In NXT. Going out on a limb here. NXT.
Just put him there and keep him there.
Yeah.
I'm just go down there. Just how good he is in the ring. They need that. No offense to a lot of them.
Not to go off on another random tangent, but please use Gunther to his potential. Let's get something out of it. Dude, you realize Gunther down the line, and this is a random thought, get your clicker ready if you can find it. I don't know if you can find it, but oh boy, now he's up. Oh man, he's up and running now. Oh boy.
Keep going. I can
you still okay, still digging for it. So random thought that I totally just thought of. What if Gunther, after everything settles with Mr. Reigns, what if Gunther was a Paul Heyman guy?
Yeah, it could work. What if
I think it could.
What if
we're okay, so we're gonna stop at Gunther here. We need to figure out top 10 people that are, will we say WWE and AEW or just in wrestling in general, that could be a Paul Heyman guy or Paul Heyman girl.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Time for everything. That'd be a good list.
I just want to say that.
There we go. Next week's episode, even though it's supposed to be random.
Giovanni Vinci. Can we please, for the love of God, just let him be Eichner again? And by the way, it's amazing on Twitter. If you type in Fabian Eichner, it pulls up Giovanni Vinci. It's amazing how all those algorithms and that works and all that. But for the love of Jesus, that actually physically hurt me to watch. And it's amazing, by the way, also that Two Dimes was.
Oh, dude, you just read my mind. I was gonna say, did you see Tony D lost some money on that?
It's amazing though that he was on NXT and
so
fired,
dumb.
and he was on NXT after he got
So
fired.
dumb.
After he got fired because they taped it. That's even better. It's like what we get the news, he's fired. They're like, sure looks like he's there to me.
All right, so Tony D's down 20 cents.
Oh, poor soul. It looks like they're already getting ready to stop that anyway. No, that's just, oh God, it was dumb.
Wait, so what is it? What, Two Dimes and what was the other guy's name?
Stacks.
So at least he's not bankrupt.
You could tell they put time into those names. Like Two Dimes and Stacks. Let's find the worst cliched names.
So if Two Stacks gets fired, then Tony D claims bankruptcy.
Hey, he loses his stacks.
Oh man, you know what? I shouldn't give Vince any ideas.
You shouldn't.
Oh, that's bad.
Vince is already in enough. I think that's the last thing on Vince's mind. I'm just going to leave that at that until more stuff comes out. But
why isn't Paul going down to NXT? I mean,
several million.
So he
dollars.
was quick fact. He actually was part of production and developmental on OVW. Yeah. Why don't we send Paul to NXT?
Because
what's his name? Freaking Brother Love, that guy.
Bruce Pritchard?
Yeah.
Oh, he just started throwing crazy things.
That guy.
I was thinking
just let Paul run it. I bet you Paul Heyman, not Paul Levesque. Sorry, Paul. Let see what Paul Heyman can do down NXT. It's not like he's sitting around, doing anything. I'd be for it. I'd be for it.
How about we just give Paul NXT back?
Probably that too. Can you imagine if Paul and Paul work together?
That's a good shit closeout. That's a terrifying idea, but yeah,
I think it would pull more viewers than the crap that's going up on the main roster. No,
for everything that they do good on 2.0, there's just so much that hurts my brain. And it's the same thing like that pose down. Like that was the main event. Like they posed.
Okay, you know what? You're killing the buzz.
I'm the one that has to sit there and watch it and talk about it. I give you.
Well, now that I found out that I can see it on Hulu the next day.
Yeah, Hulu. How do you think I do it? If my DVR works. It was funny. It's set to record. I even went to it in the thing and hit record.
Hell, I don't even have.
Guess what it didn't do?
I just watch it with the commercial.
Guess what it didn't do?
Record.
But
you can still watch it with the commercials though, in case your DVR takes the crap.
It still cuts out some stuff though. And then I look on the internet. I'm like, well, where the hell was that? And then it's way too much work. How about DVR's work? But at least we'll get to see Heyman. Thank him for all this. I mean, for how long he's been doing it, he has never actually.
All I know is
other people lose steps. Heyman has not lost.
No,
he's lost a lot of hair.
Well,
he has not lost a single. Like he is still on fire. Fire. That's something after this many years.
All I know is Funko either needs to come up with just a Paul Heyman pop. Listen to me, Funko, for the love of God, because I haven't found anything to pre-order that's worth my time. Paul and Roman, or maybe, and there's a very rarity on this, a 4-pack of Usos, Reigns, and Paul Heyman. In this order: Reigns, Paul, Jimmy J. There you go. There's and freaking plug. Swear to God.
Don't forget their next exclusive is Paul Heyman at GameStop. At least that's what the guy told me. He could.
Oh my God! I need to go pre-order that Friday. You son of a bitch.
Hey, at least I told you.
I don't even have the Roman one because I didn't like the Wreck Everyone and Leaf shirt. Now, if they had like Head of the Table, this one, not to promote shop,
I
or
will not
maybe
promote shop.
like acknowledge me, I would.
Like Paul Heyman got acknowledged.
Well, if Paul Heyman got acknowledged, then my ass is going to GameStop to pre-order that shit. Yep, wow. Ooh.
See, they're hard to find. They're good, especially here. So
I don't think there's ever been a Paul Heyman Funko Pop. I'm pretty sure not.
It's Paul Heyman. There's not a lot of Paul Heyman. There's no Paul. Look, try to find Paul Heyman autographs. Good luck.
Exactly.
He was like Taker for the long time.
But you realize how much that Funko Pop's going to be worth, though, because Paul Heyman won't even sign it, and then how much it would be worth if he had Paul Heyman sign it.
Just fine. Well, I'll just carry it around in my bag the rest of my life. I'm like, holy what? Please. Well, I ran into him going into like a Walmart or something. What the? Wait, you signed my Funko Pop? Well, how long have you been carrying that around? 18 years.
All I know is you better tag Heyman Hustle in this, I swear.
Hey, he will. We definitely will. And then I'll continuously bother him until he tells me something. He can correct us where we're always wrong. Something. Yeah. Our brains.
Again.
Thanks, Josh Matthews. We're sorry for calling you Justin Roberts.
These notes came from what I've tried to gather. If anything is not politically correct, I apologize. See, there's my disclaimer.
You don't give.
I tried my best, and if my best wasn't good enough, well, okay. Hopefully it was
at least you tried your best, and your best isn't good enough. Go find the Iron Sheik's Twitter. If you know, you know. If you don't know,
go follow him. For the love of God,
you will find out. For the love of God, that man. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I'm like, what? Okay.
It's not even scroll. You go to search, you go to Sheik.
Oh, I know. I'm saying when you're on his page, it's just it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse. He goes after. He still wants to break Hulk Hogan's leg, for Christ's sake. Yesterday he was going off about that, and if you're happy and you know it, go yourself. I mean, if you're having a bad day and you're feeling down on yourself, always remember to go yourself.
Exactly.
Thank you, Sheiky. Thank you for being just. God bless him. I don't like he's more. How much notoriety? He has more notoriety now for Twitter than he'd ever. Most people even probably know for his wrestling stuff.
Exactly.
Cussing out everything. I love that man. Literally, if you're having a bad day, you have Twitter. Follow the show for one, but follow the Iron Sheik because
we love him.
No matter what, you'll feel better when you're done. He's a special lad, but I think that's a great, nice and short. We'll keep it there. Don't worry, he'll be mentioned in it everywhere I can. Twitter, I'm definitely throwing it in there. And I'm just going to quote retweet it every day. Everyone else retweet it. What? Get it? So we could turn around and just tell me to shut up. Yeah. Or you could compliment us and tell us we're doing a great job.
Please. If there's this is roulette. It's not just me picking the subject, him not knowing what's going on, and then doing an episode. Please,
research.
If you can let us know what you want us to talk about. This is roulette for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Give us a subject. We'll look up and have an episode. Like, it's not just me, on my soapbox going, hey, Jesse, guess what? By the way, this is what we're talking about as soon as we start the episode without any knowledge that he knows what's going on. Like, give us comments. By
the way, that's what's happened both, Sunday and today. Like, it's about shut up, click, recording in progress. Like, oh, look, damn, he can't say it. There's, he can have his weeks of all that, but it always, again, interaction. Tell us what you want to hear about.
And as always,
like, share, comment, and repeat on everything. Get on the Twitter page because I put all the episodes of the YouTube and Rumble for the videos. The ones I do with him go on Facebook, but the other ones don't because who wants to see this face? And you can just listen to it. And if you want to see it, it's on YouTube and Rumble. Go on there. Go on Good Pods. Lots of good stuff. Again, shout out to Austin Boyer and Wrestling World. And Ashley Lana for her show Lullaby, the Fear podcast. Great ones that I found on there. There's lots of good stuff.
Which once I get the good pods figured out, I will be following.
It's great stuff. They're good stuff. Like he has very good. Her stuff will suck you in. His stuff, like it's good just to hear.
And who knows? Maybe we can have him on the show.
Oh, yeah, we already had one of those like comment things. Yeah. So that'd be great. And again, hers will suck you in. His is, I like the different perspective that he gives.
It's good to get.
I have my perspective. You have your perspective. Then Dan has his own. He had it's good to just. Because everyone, I mean, we all think alike in a lot of things, but we all definitely have our own takes on all sorts of stuff.
Fresh cakes.
Yeah.
Fresh cakes.
But easy there, Dusty. But yeah.
Ooh,
so
nah.
Go on Good Pods. Again, if you're listening to it, you can go on YouTube and Rumble and hit subscribe.
And remember to spade and neuter your pets.
Especially if they're 35-pound Maine Coons.
You're welcome, Bob. Love you.
Price is Wrong. God bless it. Such a good movie. But I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back on Friday with the normal Wrestling with Ski. So I could talk about, Raw 2.0 and whatever's happening as we speak on Dynamite.
Hey, boy.
Now, hair versus hair matches. Dan's talking about how stupid they are. That's why I kept looking at my phone because he just kept texting. I was like, no, and then it hit a certain amount, so it wouldn't let me look at them anymore. Damn it. And he was on a roll, but I'll go back then to talk about all of that. See what kind of stupid happens, if anything happens in between, because it is wrestling and weird stuff happens. Again, I heard about, I didn't even know about the Jeff Hardy thing until like right after I got done on Monday. Got out of here, went out there, went, what the. Picked up my phone and it was right on top. I'm like, oh, that's cute. I think they posted that 5 minutes after I started. Thanks.
How do they get a hold of that stuff is beyond me.
Hey, everyone has a price. That was a very terrible Ted DiBiase, so please don't try to kill me later. And I'll be back then. He'll be back next Wednesday again. We'll have some kind of list for you.
Either that or give us a subject.
Oh yeah, you can comment on all the videos, episodes, audio everywhere. But do all that stuff again. Check out, Lullaby, the Fear podcast, and Wrestling World. I'm trying to catch up on all of them. I'm going to do more of that tomorrow, and I'll be back on Friday. So enjoy everything. I'll be back Friday, and then I'll be back on Monday before we see that beautiful bald head again next Wednesday, unless something really crazy happens. So enjoy the rest of your time this week, and until Friday, peace.